The vaccine passports have arrived. Welcome, everybody, to the Tyler Fischer Show. Happy Monday. Happy. Happy is overrated. Content. That's what you want. You want a content Monday, don't you? Happiness. I just want to be happy all the time. No, you don't. No, that's called a psychopath. You know what I mean? You ever happy for more than like a half hour? I mean, you gotta nap for 6 hours. So let's work on being content. And speaking of content, I am not content with the equipment that I have, and so I purchased a new computer. And that's a big thanks to everybody at Patreon, because all of the money on Patreon goes to new equipment. I've had an outdated computer. My podcast episode was taking 30 hours just to export. So that's just the video exporting from my editing software. And then it took another 5 hours to upload to YouTube. So last week, you may have noticed I didn't put an episode up, or maybe it was a week before. It's been a struggle. And I finally said, you know what? It's time to invest in a new computer. So I bought a top-of-the-line Macintosh desktop computer. No more laptop for T-Bone. I want a nice battle station where I'm editing the podcast, editing the videos. So can't thank you enough. Your support has helped me be able to afford that computer. It's coming in a few weeks. So things are going to get pretty speedy here. And I'll probably be able to start doing some bonus episodes, because as of now, it's taken days to even get the dang thing out into the internet. So that's in the works, and very excited. It's gonna be so good, so fast. Not like sleepy, sleepy. Speaking of Biden, now, I don't know if you guys saw this, but he, by the way, I'm wearing a tank top from Germany that I bought 10 years ago. It still fits like a glove, yeah. Scheiße, looks so good. I saw this tank top in Germany. I said, this is me, and it is. So, Biden a few weeks ago, maybe it was a few weeks ago already, but there was a reporter that yelled a question to him, and people thought he said, "My butt's been wiped." I don't know if you heard that. Made the rounds on Twitter, and a lot of people said, he didn't say my butt's been wiped. He said, what's what? He said all this thing. So I did some research and did a deeper dive to find out, has he talked about his butt being wiped before? And I spent a few days researching on the dark web, and this is what I came up with. He has said it before, and I'm just going to play a little montage. This is Biden. These are clips that I found of him talking about his butt being wiped. So let's just take a quick listen. Here we go.
Must it be reconciliation?
What must be what?
Wiped my butt, Jack, every time so far. They'll be getting wipes in the mail that are consequential. I wiped my butt. It's been wiped. It's just a reminder. I wiped the butt. They didn't wipe it. Why would they wipe for me? Hey, guess what? Employees can't find wipes. I said, yeah, poopy wipes. This is a poopies. There's poopies in the pants problem now. What's happening? Because otherwise the poop comes up, but then it won't come back down. I got a wipe I carry with me. Cucumber scented. I'll show you where I wipe you, right in the butt. Not 6,700. 6,753. That's how many wipes you spent. You think I'm lying, Jack? You got a smirk? Well, I'll wipe that smirk off your face like I'm wiping your butt. Oh. All right, so, there you go. You do your research and you find the answers. I'm tired of people complaining, he said this, he didn't say this. I just did my research, and turns out that is what he said. My butt's been wiped, and he He's got a clean tush. So that's better. That's better than a poopy butt president. You know, we've been there before. Another thing I want to say, I'm not sure if you guys saw, but I put out a cooking show. It went on Patreon first, but this has been a dream of mine for quite some time to make a cooking show. So again, this all comes back to being able to fulfill these goals from the great support from you guys. So I won't play it now. You can go on my YouTube page. It's called Big City Little Kitchen, and it's a cooking show I've wanted to make for a while about people who live in a big city, have a tiny kitchen, have to share the kitchen, have roommates, not a lot of counter space, city noise, and the idea is delicious meals you get in and out of that kitchen. So please check it out, episode 1, Big City Little Kitchen, on my YouTube page. I'm very proud of it, and we make a delicious, we do a quiche. We do a nice quiche. It's a tasty quiche. So check that out. What else is, lots going on. Went to a wedding, and it was beautiful. My two friends got married in Brooklyn. Nice to not have a destination wedding. Am I right? Nice to not have to set a week aside to go to somebody's wedding. I hopped in an Uber 30 minutes before the ceremony started. It was great. It was beautiful. I cried a lot. I cried during the entire ceremony. Weddings just get to me, man. I mean, wow. I just get so emotional. I can't even handle it. Because I want to get married someday. I don't know how I'm going to do that. I don't even know how I'm going to get married. It's like women in Brooklyn don't even like marriage. They think it's part of the patriarchy or something. But I'm an old-fashioned guy, and I totally just want to woo a woman and get married and have like a bunch of kids. But you can't even talk about that in New York anymore. People think the world is totally overpopulated. I go, how do you even know that? Who even told you that? What does overpopulated mean? What's the number that makes it overpopulated? Because right now there's 8 or 9 billion people in the world. Who's to say? What's the actual number of overpopulation? You guys don't even know. Because imagine right now we got 8 or 9 billion people. Imagine 200 years ago we had the same amount, 9 billion. No electricity, no carbon emissions. Would the world be overpopulated? No. It's not about overpopulation, it's about overpollution. You know that. Come on, man. I wrote the damn bill. World's not overpopulated. What we're doing to the world is too much. That's it. There aren't too many people. Pull up a map. All the people in the world jammed into one place. It's not big. It's like the size of Delaware. So, here we go. Here we go with the sirens. And we'll get right into the passport thing. De Blasio announced this key to the city. There's a key to the city now. Oh, a key to the city. I didn't know I needed a key. I thought I could just walk outside and go, and I'm in the city. No, you need a fucking key. Now you need a key, and if you're vaccinated, you get to experience how fucking condescending. I'm going to play this clip. Here's de Blasio announcing this key to the city.
So today I announce a new approach, which we're calling the Key to NYC Pass. The key to New York City. When you hear those words, I want you to imagine the notion that...
Can you dream up a bigger douchebag than this guy? Destroyed the city. Destroyed this city. And now, whoever's left of this city, if you haven't been stabbed or thrown into the subway tracks, you now need a key to the city. What a fucking douchebag. That's like if you're dating somebody, they cheat on you, they don't listen to you, they hate you, they humiliate you, completely stop having sex, and then go, if you do this thing, I'll give you a key to my body. I know I've treated you like shit, but here, if you just pay my rent, then here's the little key. You get the little key, and then you get access to the great parts of my horrible body.
Because someone's vaccinated, they can do all the amazing things that are available in this city. This is a miraculous.
What things? What things? Half the restaurants are closed. You can't go outside without some homeless or drug addict coming up to you and fucking just doing something crazy. What are the things? What things? The subway doesn't come.
It is a miraculous place, literally full of wonders.
Yeah, you're the wonder. It's a fucking wonder. It's a world wonder why this guy, how he became the mayor. What are the wonders? It's a miraculous place full of wonder. Yeah. You know what the wonders are? I wonder if I'm going to get stabbed today. I wonder if I'm going to hear gunshots as I fall asleep. I wonder if I'm going to even get to the fucking concert because your piece of shit subway system is 100 years old and has not been updated.
And if you're vaccinated, all that's going to open up to you. You'll have the key. You can open the door. But if you're unvaccinated, unfortunately, you will not be able to participate in many things. That's the point we're trying to get across.
This is, I'm sorry, man. Whatever side you're on or whatever your views are on vaccine or not vaccine, as you know, I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I'm just not comfortable getting it right now as of yet. Maybe I'll get it someday. I don't know. This has never happened in our country and not in our lifetime. That's for goddamn sure. This kind of manipulation, this kind of shaming. Oh, you get your little key. Come get your key so you can do all the things in New York. I know you don't have a job. You've been working from home for 18 months and you want to fucking kill yourself. But you can go have brunch. You can go pay $75 for avocado toast.
It's time for people to see vaccination as literally necessary to living a good and full and healthy life.
No, it should be getting the vaccine should be based on whether or not you think you need it as an adult. It shouldn't be based on being allowed to do things. That is this is manipulation at its finest. This is dating someone who loves you conditionally. You do this, you get my love. You do this, and I'll talk to you. If not, sorry, you're banished from society.
The key to NYC Pass will be a first-in-the-nation approach. It will require vaccination for workers and customers in indoor dining, in indoor fitness facilities, indoor entertainment facilities. This is going to be a requirement.
Why punish the people who are at the gym, right? These are the healthy people who probably have a great immune system. How about that? How about proof that you're a healthy person? How about that?
The only way to patronize these establishments indoors will be if you're vaccinated, at least one dose. The same for folks in terms of work. They'll need at least one dose. This is crucial because we know that this will encourage a lot more vaccination. We've seen it already.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. It might move the needle a little bit. It might move the needle a little bit, but is it worth it? The division that this is going to create, this is literally going to cause segregation. The unvaccinated people are going to start hanging out with unvaccinated people, and the vaccinated people with the vaccinated people. Is this worth it? Is it worth it to get an extra, let's say we get an extra 5% vaccinated. Let's say we get up, I don't know where we're at right now. Let's say we get up to like 75% and 25% still aren't getting it. Was that worth it? Making this extreme draconian? Forget it, guys. Forget it. I don't know the word. I'm part of the unvaccinated. I'm an idiot. So is that worth it? Also, keep in mind, I think it's somewhere between 60 and 70% of black people in New York City are not vaccinated. 60 to 70% aren't vaccinated. Is this going to get it up to 0%? No way. No. Okay, so let's say this moves the needle to 50% of African Americans getting vaccinated. That's a liberal estimate there. That's a pretty liberal estimate. It might get to 50%. So there's still 50% of black people in New York City who will not be able to go into restaurants, bars, theaters. Is that good? Is that going to be good? Let's listen on.
We've seen the impact of the mandate we've put in place for
draconian lockdowns. Thank you. For the record, just draconian.
city workers already starting to move people to vaccination. We've obviously seen the positive impact of incentive as well.
All right. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I don't see this ending well at all. I don't think it's going to move the needle that much. I think the people who didn't get it, for the most part, that's relatively set. It could sway a little bit. I don't think it's going to sway a ton. I could be wrong. That's just what I think. So we'll see what happens. But I was thinking about. I mentioned this a few times before, but I think people don't talk enough about those with fear of medical procedures, those with fear of needles, those with fear of doctors. Now, my guess was maybe 10% of the country had a fear of needles. Oh boy, was I wrong. Did some research. And this is what I found. This is a paper by Harvard University. This is not from Facebook or QAnon or whatever the fuck people will say. Man. Okay. So it's called Trypanophobia. Trypanophobia. Okay. The name combines the Greek term trypano, meaning puncturing or piercing, with phobia, meaning fear. The remarkably common condition is marked by irrational, extreme fear or aversion to blood or needles. Oh, I have it up here. I can read it up here. It's estimated that fear of needles affect up to 25% of adults and may lead to 16% of people in the U.S. completely skipping vaccinations. Many people who strongly fear needles may avoid doctors and medical care, so it's likely that the magnitude of this problem is underestimated. They estimate 16% of the country just doesn't get vaccines, period, as an adult because of this fear. That's an estimation that they say is underestimated because, well, they're probably judging it by people who actually go to the doctors and their doctors report X amount of people have a fear of needles. And then you have the people that they can't report on because they're just not going to the doctor at all. 16. So let's say, again, this is conservative. Let's bump that up to 20. It's probably more than 20, which makes sense. I don't know if we're going to get over 80% of the country vaccinated. I doubt it. I highly doubt it. I think half is right now. I got to get the numbers. They're changing a lot. But if that's true and 20% of adults will not get a vaccine, let's see. Now, what is that? 20% of adults. All right, that's a lot of people. Okay, that's millions and millions and millions and millions of people who have a severe adverse reaction to needles and will avoid it at all costs. I mean, so combine that with just so many different combinations of fears. fear of leaving the house, which has been exacerbated because of the pandemic. So you have people that, let's say they're already afraid of leaving the house. They probably are not leaving the house at all. So you have a percentage of this country that just is not going to leave their house and most certainly will not step foot in a medical office for fear of leaving the house, and then for fear of COVID, and then all of that's exacerbated, and it's combined with all sorts of new social fears and phobias and all that stuff. But this isn't something that you can manipulate people into getting, and I think it's incredibly insensitive to not consider this large group of people. And the fact that, I mean, think about it. Think about something you're afraid of, right? Whether it be snakes or spiders or public speaking, just switch that out with the vaccine. Just switch it out, because our brain doesn't really know. Our brain doesn't know the difference between fear of public speaking and fear of needles. It's the same fear response. It's the same reaction that your body has. Your body doesn't know that. It's all linked back to, when we were evolved long time ago, and it was a fear of an insect or a natural disaster or falling out of a tree, whatever the fuck it is. All of that's still deep. It's the deepest part of our brain. So it doesn't even matter. That's irrelevant that it's a fear of a vaccine or fear of a snake. Imagine, to fight COVID, if you have a fear of snakes, you have to kiss a snake on the mouth. And I'm not even kidding at all. It's no different than how these people feel about putting a needle into their body. Would you get it? Would you get it for a vaccine passport? Would you kiss a spider? Would you put a spider in your mouth? Would you go rock climbing without a harness? Anything, any of your deepest fears, just switch it out with the vaccine. Of course you wouldn't. And if you would, and if you could, that could take months, if not years, if not a lifetime of exposure therapy to reverse. So we're supposed to be so sensitive to people's bodies and their choices, but for this, there's no mention of this. I have a fear of needles. I have a fear of blood. I avoided going to the doctor for blood work for, you ready for this? Probably over 5 years. I had to get blood work because I thought that I had something wrong with me. I don't know if it was diabetes. I had some medical issues. 5 years I didn't go. I pass out when I get blood work. One of the last times I got blood work, I fainted, hit my head, and woke up in the hospital. They're like, man, you've got, I mean, it's not a joke. It's really not a joke. Of course, there's many reasons people aren't getting vaccinated, but we can't underestimate this one. I think this one is way bigger than people understand. Then mix it with the fear of leaving the house, the social fucking autism we all have now, or I don't mean to use that word loosely, but social disorders now. All of that is just combined into this massive fear that's probably all webbed together and complicated. So, meanwhile, fear symptoms: fear or anxiety. Symptoms of the phobia: fear or anxiety, panic attacks, nausea, sweats, palpitations, fainting. Hello. Insomnia that lasts for days, if not weeks, before the expected prick of the needle. So this really can screw you up. Do you have a fear of public speaking? Imagine if you ever had a fear of public speaking. Everyone always comes up to me after stand-up and they literally go, Edie Falco from fucking Sopranos came up to me and she goes, couldn't fucking do what you did. Couldn't fucking do what you do. And she walked away. I was like, oh, okay, well, you could. Acting's hard as fuck. It's different. But let's say you had to go do the vaccine. The cure to COVID was you had to get up on stage and do stand-up comedy for 1 hour in front of your friends and family and strangers. Would you do that? Or would you hide at home? This is where you got to get out of. We got to get out of that narcissistic mindset. Everyone always tells you, you got to think of other people. You got to think of what other people are going through. Well, this is what probably 10 to 20% of the country is actually going through. And to just say, oh, just get it. Just get the jab. Let's add this on. If you've been violated in any way, shape, or form, if you've been sexually or physically abused, this is a penetration of your body, of your skin, with a sharp needle that you're putting a vaccine that has not been approved by the FDA yet. I'm sure it will be. It will. Maybe it will. Maybe it won't. It's, I think, planning to be approved in the next few weeks. It just seems so crazy to me. It doesn't seem real. None of this seems real. I feel like I'm living in a movie. People are texting me, what are you going to do? What are you going to do when this band? I'm not thinking about it. I'm thinking about surviving. I'm thinking about paying my rent. I'm thinking about getting this podcast done. I'm thinking about the show I have tonight. I'm thinking about the sketch I'm making. I can't think about it. I can't. It'll really screw my wheels up there. So I don't know. I'll take it one day at a time. I'm not sure what I'll do. I mean, but I will tell you this. The more pressure, the more manipulation, the more people are cornering me, lecturing me without even asking why I'm not getting it or having a true adult conversation. Am I more likely to get it or less likely? The answer is less likely, because I never planned on even wanting to talk about this. I didn't want to talk about this. I just made my choice. This is my choice for now, and then I will follow the science and see where it goes. The only reason I talk about it is in response to people who are shaming me and pressuring me and unfriending me and this and that and the other. I'm just responding to that. I'm responding to people who don't even want to hear me out or respect my adult choice. So it's put off my entire thought process on this thing. And yeah, the answer is I'm definitely less likely to get it. But anyhow, we'll see what happens. I don't know. And it's not even about the it's less about the vaccine and more about having a government tell you what you need to put in your body. We don't have that, not in our country. We have things you can't do. You can't do this, you can't do that, you can't say that. But to say you have to do this, that is not that's not America at all. And if we let this happen, I mean, come on, just look at where we started with this. 2 weeks to flatten the curve. All right, just stay home for a month. All right, just give up your job. Okay, just shut down your business. Oh, just another month. All right, just keep it 10% capacity. Wear a mask. Wear 2 masks. Okay, you don't have to if you get vaccinated. Okay, no, you do have to wear it if you get... I mean, like, how does anyone trust these people at this point? And this won't be the end. They'll go, oh, wow, New York City, greatest city in the world, biggest city in the country, huge city, the cultural epicenter of the world, the people that create the culture, the people that carve out the nerve of the country, the cultural nerve, and they decide what's popular. It all starts in New York. Well, they just submitted to this. They all just submitted to this vaccine passport. You think it's going to stop there? Of course it's not. Of course it's not. It'll be the next thing you'll need to show proof of. It's the closest thing to a social credit score, because a lot of this has become politicized. It's about, all right, yeah, let me see you got the vaccine. You did the right thing. You're on the right side. There's a this guy very Matthew McConaughey there. There's a notion that this is people only on the right who aren't getting it. Well, that's incorrect, because if 60 to 70% of black people in New York City haven't gotten it, the majority of them are Democrats. So there goes that theory. I know plenty of people who are very, very left-wing, liberal folks who aren't getting it for their own reasons. And I just don't see it ending there. I you know, if there's a booster shot, then you're going to need proof of that. Every 6 months, it's going to be a new thing. You know, hey, we need proof that you have some diversity, some ethnic diversity. We want to make sure you're not just white. We need to see your papers. Well, I'm Jewish. Yeah, it doesn't count. We need to, you're not Native American or anything. Imagine that before you go into a bar. Yeah, we already got 6 white people in there. So, yeah, we just need to see your 23andMe test. Let's see. Ashkenazi Jew. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's not good enough. So, why don't you come back tomorrow? We'll try again tomorrow. We need proof that you have minority friends. So, we're going to need to see your Instagram page. Just make sure we get some pictures of you with some minorities. It's not going to stop here. It will not stop here. It will not stop here. Yeah, I don't know, man. I just feel fucking... My brain is mush right now. It's too many things to think about. There's like too many ways to be shamed and canceled right now. Or, forget... I don't want to overuse the word canceled. There's too many ways to be shamed or publicly shamed or isolated from society. I feel like I've just kind of hit my limit with it. I don't know. It's clogging up my brain a little bit. But I got to just stick to my my bottom line. My bottom line is making content, making art. The more I make, the happier I am. When I worked on that cooking show, it was like, I didn't think about any of this shit, man. I fucking wrote it. I prepared it. I filmed it. Collaborated with this awesome filmmaker, Alex. Got together. We edited for a full day. We put our phones away. We didn't check social media. You know, I mean, those are the days that I love and when I feel the most clear. I really highly recommend waking up and not checking your phone or social media. Do something for yourself. Do something for your mental health or for your art or something. You know, write a poem, write a stanza, cook something, make coffee, journal, do something. I'm telling you, man, you work out. This is a little war every day against all sorts of things that suck us in from social media or the news or politics. So if you can get into a physical, mental state before you dive into that, you just feel strong. You feel stronger. You feel better. You go, all right, well, I already started the day doing things for me and not going online and try to please people or get all upset about this, that, or the other. And I stopped watching a lot of the news for sure. I did stop watching NPR, listening to NPR rather. NPR got too woke for me, man. I just don't know how much we're supposed to take. How much shame. Oh, you're creating global warming. You're creating climate change. You're a piece of shit. There's so much white shaming on NPR. I mean, it was enough to turn me the fuck away from it. But every episode of NPR, it's like they just list off every fucking classic woke saying or word in the dictionary. It's too... Every episode of NPR is like one big virtue signal. They try to jam every virtue into the program. You know what I mean? Seriously, this is every episode. This is every NPR show right here. Okay, just getting into character here. Hello and welcome to NPR, National Public Radio. A quick trigger warning. If you're a human with emotions, you may want to hide in the closet and avoid listening to this program. Today on the show, we follow the science and talk about implicit institutional bias regarding diversity in the workplace, while creating a safe space to deconstruct microaggressions stemming from systematic inequality created by an oppressive cisnormative system, while increasing equity in the name of inclusivity to combat racial racist racism for minorities and the trauma inflicted on Black, Brown, and Latinx bodies marginalized by climate change. We interview the leader of BLM, a POC, about AOC fighting for CRT. We cover how LGBTQIA rights are crippled by toxic masculinity, straight, oppressive, colonizing white people. We talk about white privilege, white guilt, white shame. Shame on you, whitey. If you're white, take a seat, sit down, and shut up. Shut up. And if you want more shame, we explain that if you're straight and white, you're privileged regardless of if you're mentally ill, dying of a horrible disease, or been raped a bunch. We explain how life is a walk in the park if you're white, even if you have no legs. We then talk about Trump for 35 minutes, pretending like we hate him, but clearly want him elected again because we can no longer pay our rent with tote bags. We ask you to donate an ungodly amount of money in exchange for a crappy mug. We reveal another 75 new gender identities. And finally, we ask, should Guy Fieri be canceled for culturally appropriating lesbians? It's currently 79 degrees in Central Park. The time is 4:53 p.m. But time was invented by the patriarchy, so if you're Black or brown, you can invent whatever time you'd like. We'll be right back. And unfortunately, that is the end of the Tyler Fischer Show. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate it. If you'd like to support the show, patreon.com/Tyler Talks. We will give you a free tote bag if you join. That's right, and a shitty mug with Brian Lair's face on it. Thank you so much. We're here every Monday. We appreciate it. The show is always out first on Patreon. And that's it for now. Stop destroying the planet and stop being